Hello and welcome to Education Trend, your trusted weekly roundup of the biggest stories shaping Nigerian education sector and beyond. I am Lisa Jimo. Here are the headlines of Midwave this week. We begin with a major shake-up in Nigerian examination system. Information technology and cybersecurity expert Rashid Afolabi, who joined other stakeholders in raising alarm over the cyber glitch that disrupted both the 2025 UTME results and the West African Senior Secondary School examination outcome. In a statement released midweek, Afolabi said the glitch are not just isolated technical failures, but evidence of a weak and underfunded digital ecosystem. Over 1.5 million candidates were caught up in the crisis, from server upload, overload, and frozen biometric capture in JAMB's computer-based text to WAEC's online portal breakdown, which left many students with inconsistent grades. He warned that beyond disrupted exams, insecure portals pose a grave national data privacy threat. His solution: stronger investment and scalable infrastructure, independent cybersecurity audits, and continuous training for technical personnel. Sequel to that, FG overhauls national curriculum. The federal government announced a sweeping reform of Nigeria's school curriculum, reducing the number of subjects taught at all levels and introducing a stronger focus on skill, digital literacy, and entrepreneurship. According to the Ministry of Education, beginning from the 2025-2026 academic section, primary and secondary school students will face lighter subject load. For instance, senior secondary school students will now choose 8 to 9 subjects instead of previous 15 to 20 subjects. The new structure introduces a core group such as humanities, science-based business, one compulsory trade subject, and general course. Nigeria history has been reintroduced as a compulsory subject from primary 1 to GSS 3, while a new citizenship and heritage studies merges civic education, history, and social studies at all senior level. Meanwhile, Kogi State bans school graduation ceremony. In Kogi State, the government did place an immediate ban on graduation ceremony in nursery, primary, and secondary school. Education Commissioner Wemi Jones announced the decision at a stakeholders meeting in Lokoja. He explained that flamboyant graduation parties has become economically unsustainable for parents and often fuel social ills. In place of such ceremony, the states will introduce new recognition method that promotes academic competition and discipline. Parents are also now required to provide notebook instead of converting textbook into workbook, ensuring books can be reused by siblings. Kogi now joins Sokoto, Imo, Ondo, and Edo State, as well as some universities in banning graduation and signing out celebration across Nigeria. Officials say that the move will restore decorum, reduce parents' burden, and prevent misconduct associated with such events. Stay with us while we bring you more of the headlines. Abdulrazak Abubakar Tony University unveils bold vision for affordable, quality, and character-based education. AppTech cuts 70% of foreign university study cost. AppTech, a global computer and IT education company with 65 centers in Nigeria, did announce a groundbreaking cost reduction of up to 70% of Nigerians seeking foreign university education. The milestone was unveiled at the 7th edition of its annual Career Quest event held in Port Harcourt on Thursday, September the 4th, 2025, where the group also revealed it had invested 461 million naira in scholarship for Nigerian students, both locally and abroad. FG commits 1.85 billion naira to education and rehabilitation of rescue Chibok girls. Kwara governor approves 200,000 scholarship for students. Kwara governor approves 200,000 naira scholarship for students. UBEP targets drastic reduction of out-of-school children by 2030. FG cuts school subject, introduces skill-based curriculum for 2025-2026 academic section. Plateau Assembly bans compulsory yearly textbook purchase, graduation ceremonies in schools. The Public and Private Development Center urges government to restructure education system to meet global demands. And for our final headline for today, UWEB charts new course for basic education. And those are the top stories in education this week, from examination glitch that shook confidence in Nigeria's digital system to curriculum reform aimed at easing academic pressure and state-level policies reshaping how schools celebrate students' achievements. I am Lizzie Jimo, and this has been Education Trend. Join us next week as we continue to track the headlines shaping the future of Nigeria's education and beyond. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and follow us on our social media handle. To come your way again, we leave you with these videos of parents talking about Nigeria education. Bye for now.
My name is Joy Ikpa. Most students are suffering from education strike problems. The government should assist to help the students. If a student should be going to school for 4 years or for a course of 4 years, it should be 4 years, not 5 years or 6 or 7 years. So the government should work towards that. Please, they shouldn't look that their children are schooling outside and it doesn't have any issue. They have to go, my child is schooling outside, abroad, or this. No. That child that is schooling in the university or this thing, but it's part of the child too. Giving birth to a child, you're going through a lot with parents. The government should assist the parents to take care of their children, so that some orphans too and some parents and children, they can afford to take care of their children. The education mostly now is on a system which is not supposed to be so. There is most of the parents that cannot afford the system for their children. So how would they go to school? Of recent, I saw these public schools, some at the primary schools, these children, school vacated, and the children are still going to school. The government should work towards even the strike issue of them, at least pay a good teachers so that they can be able to learn more.
My name is Maji. Nigerian education these days is not like our time. What is happening in education these days is about money. And that is why they have killed our government school. But in private school, which we put our children, one teacher teach more than 5 subjects, which is not supposed to be in our time. In our time, English teacher is English teacher, mathematics teacher is mathematics teachers. You can even have 3 that teaching 1 subject. But nowadays, a secondary school graduate that is brilliant will be a teacher teaching like 4 subjects. My children is the weakness because they will come to tell us what is happening in school. At the moment they change their teacher, they will still tell us, so we know what is happening. So the problem we have is that everybody is looking for money, they don't care what about your children. Even the school, like the school that I take my child from. So many subjects. I am the person that will be teaching my children because assignment. One day I spark, I say, my son that is supposed to teach, then I am doing the teaching. And you don't write one assignment and give to my son to carry for me. It's not supposed to be. So what government is supposed to do better is, if possible, they will improve our public school and they'll stop allow our children to go outside. Then give the law that the private schools cannot be able to meet up. I think it will be better for us. If not, all this messed up, all this rubbish that's seen outside with all these children, it is the school that they are copying it from. So if the federal government can do something and stand firm on our education and put a law that if your school cannot meet this standard, you should not open your school, it will be better for us.
Mr. Nnamdi by name, what I think about the system of education in Nigeria. I think the education itself is growing, but not to some of our expectations. And there are some things that we are doing good and many that we are not doing good. But one of the things that I think that is affecting us is the management aspect, which our government are not really trying. Like I was even discussing with a friend of mine here, talking about the cost of school fees, that soon school will start, which most parents are struggling to pay some of those things. You know, most parents in Nigeria, they wouldn't want to speak out. They don't know how to speak out. Not that they don't know how to, but they believe that most parents smile. How do they wish to put it? They struggle or they smile while struggling. And me personally, last term or last session, I know how much the school where my children are going called for this, their so-called AS graduation, which I have to even go to the school to negotiate with them. I was begging them, this is how much I can afford. They said no. At the end of the day, I thought otherwise. I checked some things. I said no, they wouldn't go that. Even during the period, I enrolled them. Already they are into a dancing school that they do go on weekend. So I was like, instead of this, and that particular day that you guys will do the graduation, there is a carnival, a festival that we run in the dancing school. I say, if they can reduce the cost of the graduation, it's better for them to go for that dancing school. The same thing happened this period, and they didn't go that to the high cost. Yeah, somebody might say, why didn't you send your children to get the experience with their children? Their fellow schoolmates. I that pays the bill know where it is. The cost of such is very, very high. Not only that, we talk of textbooks. Like I have analyzed with my wife on several things that, imagine that a child passes a class. During our own days, there are some books that we used that our younger ones still, after our studies, our parents will say, keep it safe. So person will still use it. But these days it's not like that. The schools prepare textbooks that they will write in. After that time, it's useless. Expecting parents to pay the next term, which is unfair. These things, parents are struggling. Yes, we keep complaining of the government, but most of us are not helping ourselves. Most of the school proprietors, the so-called private schools, they are not helping. They give strategies, they install high cost of whatever in the school system. So I think the government, if they have hands, not only the government, the private schools, they should work on themselves. They should work on themselves. Then that of government schools, there are still areas that they need to work on. Equip some amenities. Already they have the best teachers. Monitor their students. Check what they in and out. Sometimes I do go around, I see how some government, not even only government, the private schools, there's people behaves. The characters, I know we are complaining of the bad behavior of the young ones. Some of it outside the ones that people learn from home. School system causes it due to what? Some teachers, especially the government ones, they don't care. They are just after to teach the moral aspect is not being monitored. When you see them go after schools, you see the way they talk, you see the way they... So a lot of things need to be done in our school system, both the private and that of... But the most important, one of the most, I wouldn't say the most, is the high cost, especially that of private school. The high cost is too much. They have a lot of things that on timely basis, they will use it to do. They will just want to use it to make money from. You see, the thing that even baffles me, most of their teachers, when they get such big money from the parents, from the students, they still pay their teachers less. Most teachers of private school keep complaining. So, which is not that fair. A lot. They should minimize the school fees. They should change all this system of every time there must be change of textbooks. Your younger child will not use that of elder ones to go to the next class. So it's so unfair. That's the least I can say. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Education